and applauding their players as they emerge from the tunnel. Big round of applause, big cheers too for the home side Kilmarnock as they make their way out. Big game for both sides. It's full live commentary here on Sports Sound. Kilmarnock against Hearts, and that comes to you along with Craig Levine, Stephen Thompson and Al Lamont.
Thanks very much, Richard. Yes, welcome to a blustery and wet Rugby Park for the final Premiership game of the weekend. Second bottom Kilmarnock against sixth place Hearts as both sides look to climb the table before the weekend is out. Killy's midweek win here over St Johnstone put an end to a three-game losing run, while Hearts have been inconsistent in both Europe and domestically, conceding 7 without scoring in their last 2 games. Both sides, as Richard said, now out on that artificial surface as the captains come into the centre circle with the match referee, who is a new one for me, Matthew McDermott, just 29, taking charge of his 4th top flight game, and Alan Power and Craig Gordon just going through the usual rigmarole pre-kick-off as both sides line up. Kilmarnock will go right to left as we look at it from the back of the main stand here in their blue shirts with the white stripes, white shorts, blue socks. Hearts also in traditional kit, maroon tops, white shorts and maroon socks as Craig Gordon trots back to his goal, looking to make sure he concedes far fewer than he has in his last 2 outings. Hearts it will be then to get us underway. Lawrence Shanklin, the man in the middle, as both sides look to pick up valuable points after stuttering starts to the season. Hearts have flip-flopped between wins and defeats in the last 6 league games. 3 wins, 3 defeats, as it's immediately knocked out of play by Alex Cochrane. And yeah, we were scratching our heads, as Richard said, in terms of Hearts' tactical lineup. The guys will keep an eye on that and just see exactly how it pans out. Killy have the early throw-in on the left-hand side, taken by Stokes, not forward, and then Ash Taylor knocks it high in the air up to the halfway line. And man in the moment, Danny Armstrong, brings it out to the left-hand side for Jordan Jones. Ben Chrisen, the left-back, forward for Jones once more. It'll be a Kilmarnock throw-in just 10 yards or so inside the Hearts half, but it does look as if it is the back 4, and Robert Snodgrass, Craig, is alongside Hugh Motsoglu in the centre of the park.
Yeah, that's pretty much as we thought. It's a back 4 with 2 sitting midfield players in front of it, 3 in front of that, and Shanklin up front as the main striker.
Kilmarnock have it over on the far side. It's Lewis Mayo. Armstrong then stopped in his tracks. Snodgrass. And have you ever seen him play in that role before,
No,
either of you?
Not for me, no.
No, I haven't.
You know, Robbie kind of hinted that he's going to want him to get forward more.
Here's Lawrence Shanklin getting forward. He's in behind. It's the first chance for Hearts. Shanklin, can he find the target? He's squared it for Barry Mackay, who skies it over the bar. Golden opportunity for Hearts in the opening couple of minutes. And Barry Mackay somehow puts it over the crossbar with a goal gaping. Big chance to score.
It's an astonishing miss, absolutely astonishing. I can't believe, firstly, that Lawrence Shanklin didn't take the shot on himself. It was flicked over, he got in behind the Kilmarnock back 4. He's one-on-one with Zach Hemming. I'm thinking pull the trigger. He waits, then plays it across the 6-yard box. Barry Mackay's hit the back post, probably, you know, 5-6 yards out. All he's got to do, he
could have taken the touch if he wanted.
Any type of contact, a sclaff, anything. He catches it far too cleanly on his right foot and blazes it over the bar with a goal gaping. A sitter.
Yeah, and for me, I just cannot believe, as you say, that Shanklin didn't pull the trigger. He had 3 touches in the Kilmarnock penalty box with not a Kilmarnock player near him, and he still didn't shoot.
Chrisen with a cross towards the back post, but it's too deep and it's over the crossbar off Craig Gordon. But Hearts,
I don't think he could get it set. That was the thing. It bounced, and then I'm thinking he's going to hit this on the volley, and then he kind of opted out of that, took another touch, and then he's probably thinking to himself, right,
now the angle's too tight,
the kind of moment had gone, but actually the choice he ended up making was the right choice, because it really should have been a goal. The square pass was a good pass, but really, how did Barry Mackay miss that?
He was leaning back, wasn't he, as he made contact, and he skied it. Robert Snodgrass was also annoyed that Shankland didn't find him. He was also inside the penalty area and would have had a tap in as well. And either way, Hearts should be in front. A sign of their attacking intent, though. They've got a good attacking lineup, and it does look like they are set up to just try and get forward at every turn. And here they come once more, and it's Shankland out to the left-hand side to Barry Mackay, who should have opened the scoring. Back it goes to Snodgrass, midway inside the Killie half. Shankland once more now, left-hand side of the penalty area, plays it forward, looking for Forrest, and it will be a Hearts corner, and the visitors have started the brighter of the two sides.
Yeah, a really positive start from Hearts. You know, you can see their intent, trying to turn Kilmarnock, trying to get the ball in behind. We talked about the attacking intent in the side. When you look at the front four players, add Robert Snodgrass into that, and they have a corner kick to follow up the Barry Mackay miss.
Snodgrass to take left side, left-footed. The veteran sends it into the penalty area. It's not a bad ball bobbling about there before Lafferty gets a boot to it, sends it back out to Snodgrass. Now it's Forrest just on the edge of the penalty area. Good block there from Alan Power as the shot came in from Forrest. Power sticking close to Forrest. Hearts pump it forward through Cochrane. Knocked away by Stokes, but Kilmarnock on the back foot in these early exchanges. Armstrong bundled into there by Snodgrass. It'll be a Kilmarnock free kick, a bit of respite for them in these opening 5 minutes. It's Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0.
Yeah, we've touched on it already, but there's a very pacey front line from that Hearts have put out today. And we've already seen one occasion when Lawrence Shankland manages to get in behind, and if Kilmarnock play as high as that with the pace that Hearts have got, they'll get in behind again.
And that's exactly what they did for that early chance. Here's Alan Power picking up possession in the middle of the park. That's good play from Mayo, bursting forward from right back. Still he's going up to the edge of the penalty area, cross steps Alec Cochrane to just knock it out of play on the far side, but Kilmarnock fans happy with what they saw there from the on-loan Rangers defender Lewis Mayo. Pretty versatile, seen him play at right back as he is today, but also centre back and even defensive midfielder. Kilmarnock then down the right hand side, it is Mayo once more, just pokes it back the way to Power as captain. Over on the right side for Killie, forward it goes to Armstrong, finds a bit of space. What a game he had the other night, and what a free kick he scored to get that opening goal. Sends it into the penalty area now, comes back off Kilmarnock. Power though founds Mackenzie, who can't keep possession, and Kingsley picks up inside his own penalty area and knocks it out to the right side for Nat Atkinson, who's harried by Lafferty. Back with Kingsley, now at the feet of Craig Gordon. He's closed down by Lafferty as well, but he gets clearance out to Mackay and knocks it back for Halliday. Mackay once more, just inside the Kilmarnock half. Here's Snodgrass out to Halliday, left hand side, just inside his own half now, and back the way he goes to Cochrane into the middle of the park for Kilmarnock, and back with Cochrane once more, just on the edge of his own penalty area. Hearts looking to build from the back, still 0-0, 6.5 played. Snodgrass back to Cochrane, he'll be closed down by Armstrong. Now it's Kilmarnock, gets the pass off to Halliday on the left hand side, running into traffic, and he's giving the ball away, and Alston will win that back. Midway inside the Hearts half, out to the left he comes to Chrisen, the teenage left back for Kilmarnock. Here's Jones linking with Chrisen once more. Chrisen the chance to cross, instead he plays the short ball back to Jones onto the right foot, sends it in, back post, the header comes in just wide from Danny Armstrong, almost adding to his 2 goals from midweek. Back post header just wide of Craig Gordon's left hand post. Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0.
Well, the form that Danny Armstrong's in, you'd expect that to hit the back of the net, wouldn't you? I mean, that was a header from a little bit of a tight angle, but I mean, he should have scored, Tom. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I think he should hit the target. The quality of the ball in. Whoops.
Alex Cochrane almost losing it to Armstrong inside his own penalty area, got away with it.
The quality of the ball in from Jones is fabulous. It really is. I thought he should have crossed it with his left foot. Cuts back on his right.
Shankland giving chase to the through ball. Out comes Zach Hemming, just on the edge of his box. Got a punch to it. It's a good punch in the end, but he was right on the edge of his box. The assistant referee would have had a good view to tell whether he was inside or outside. Hearts have one possession in the middle of the park. Here's Humphreys, first involvement really for him as he pokes it out to the right hand side to Forrest. just outside the penalty area. Comes back inside to Kilmarnock. Now Snodgrass midway inside the Killie half. Clever through ball for Mackay. Now out to Halliday. It's been a good game, good start to the game.
Yeah, it really has.
Opening 8 minutes.
Great tempo.
Both sides going for it in an attacking sense. Back with Cochrane on the halfway line for Hearts. Lafferty just trying to cut off the angles. The ball's played forward for Shankland, who lays it off. It's Kingsley coming forward to the edge of the penalty area. To the goal line he goes. He's blocked there by Crescent. It's picked up by Nat Atkinson. Kingsley picks up possession. He'll go for goal, and it's blocked there by Stokes and out for a throw in the far near side. Kilmarnock were looking for a free kick there for an infringement. It didn't come, and they've taken the throw in quickly, Hearts, as Atkinson knocks it through to Forrest. Can't link though with Humphreys, and Hearts aren't able to keep possession. Played up towards Lafferty, who's grappling there with with Kingsley, and that's a heavy challenge coming in from Kilmarnock. He caught Lafferty heavily there, and the referee wants a word with him. It will be a Kilmarnock free kick.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to see because there's so many bodies in the way, but he definitely came in very heavily on Kyle Lafferty, who's still down on the pitch, and then afterwards Alan Power just giving him a taste of his own medicine and body checking him. But yeah, he's maybe fortunate not to see his name going in the book there.
Well, if the referee deems that a foul, Craig, then it looked like a heavy enough challenge to merit a yellow.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the actual contact. That was the thing.
It's hard to see.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. And Kyle appears to be none the worse for the tackle. So maybe it wasn't as bad as it looked.
9.5 played. Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0, but both sides with early opportunities. Barry Mackay blazing over in the first couple of minutes, and then Danny Armstrong heading wide for Kilmarnock as Lafferty challenges with Cochrane. A bit of a mismatch, and it comes out to Armstrong on the far side, the Kilmarnock right, looking to find room for the cross, which he does. Left-footed, swings it in. Kilmarnock does well ahead of Mackenzie to head it clear, and Hearts pick up through Kingsley. Slight curiosity in that the three of the back four for Hearts are left-footed, so Kingsley playing as right centre-back this afternoon. As Hearts come forward, it's Shankland looking to find Humphreys over the top. Back goes Crescent with him, edge of the penalty area. Humphreys holds it up, invites Atkinson, but the ball wasn't weighted properly, and it allows Stokes to come across and clear for the throw-in.
Again, it's that ball over the top. A really good pass from Lawrence Shankland. Humphreys, it just wouldn't sit for him. It checked on the AstroTurf surface, and then when he went to play in the overlapping run, it was actually really good defending from Stokes, who snuffed out the danger and read it well.
I'd like to see him take on the shot, maybe just shift it and have a strike at goal.
Humphreys?
Yeah, rather than just wait on Atkinson coming up. He had an opportunity to shift on his right foot and maybe have a strike at goal. It might have been 25 yards or so, but again, you know, it's a positive. If you do that, it's positive. You just never know. Again,
that's the 2 times in the opening 10 minutes, though, that they have got that ball in behind, which is a tactic that Robbie spoke about before the game.
Kingsley steps forward again. That's too much on that pass for Shankland, way too much, and he offers the raised hand in apology. There were better options, but it's out for a goal kick to Kilmarnock. Just going back to Humphreys, Craig, I've seen him a couple of times early in his Hearts career, and he's looked pretty promising to me.
Yeah, he's got pace, he's got strength. I mean, I don't know how natural a goal scorer he is. I don't know whether he's a wider player who maybe likes to run in behind. It'd be interesting to see what Derek does about this, because that's twice already. I mean, it might be that he can go to a back three and have a spare player there to maybe just nullify that ball in behind. But wait and see.
Certainly Lewis Mayo could come in and make a three, and Derek McInnes, we know, is very. His formations are always very flexible, aren't they? He can flip-flop between the 3 and the 4 quite comfortably. As Hearts have a throw-in over on the far side. 12 minutes played at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0. A bright opening to the game. Both sides looking to get forward when they can. Kilmarnock, as we mentioned earlier, have only got 6 goals in the league, and only 2 goal scorers, Danny Armstrong and Ash Taylor, with 3 apiece. So they need more players to contribute in that regard, but they've certainly looked to get forward early in this game as Stokes wins the header. But it's picked up by Kingsley, midway inside his own half, looking to get it onto his left foot. He goes back the way to Cochrane, and he tries to find Craig Gordon, who gets there before Lafferty. That was a hospital ball and a half from Cochrane for Craig Gordon.
It's an awful pass back. I mean, I felt
so was Kingsley's as well.
It was Kingsley to Cochrane, then Cochrane kind of repeats the trick, but I felt as though Craig should have just put his foot through that. He tries to kind of knock it past the on-rushing Lafferty, and he was lucky that it just clipped the bottom of Kyle Lafferty's studs.
Out for a throw in on the far side to Kilmarnock, midway inside the Hearts half. Here's Jones across on the right-hand side for the moment, but he's handled it, I think, there, right in front of the assistant referee, who raises his flag and signals for a free kick to the visitors. And Craig Gordon will just come out to the left side of his box to take this one. It was, what, 20 years just the other day since he made his debut. Craig is, well, we've waxed lyrical almost to, there's very little left we can say to praise Craig Gordon, but the longevity of his career, as much as anything else, is so impressive.
Yeah, especially considering he was out for 2 or 3 years with a serious patella tendon problem.
Yeah, many people, I think, had written him off during that period, thought he was probably finished as a professional footballer. He has defied them, certainly, and he's back, arguably playing the best football of his career in the last couple of seasons. As Barry Mackay picks up on the halfway line, left-hand side, infield to Snodgrass. He looks to lift it over the top. Ash Taylor gets his head to it at the edge of the penalty area. Power chases. He's given it away to Kilmarnock though. Shanklin can't quite pick up the loose ball. Kilmarnock get it clear to the halfway line, where Kingsley just plays it to Atkinson on the Hearts right. Infield to Shanklin and back to Kilmarnock. And now Cochrane on the halfway line for Hearts, playing as the left side centre back. Here he is once more, gets it back from Kingsley, allowed to step forward, fires the diagonal. He's looking for Humphreys, but Crescent, the young man on loan from Aston Villa, picks up possession, plays it infield to Power out to the left for Jones, still inside the Kilmarnock half, looking for options. Quarter of an hour gone, still no goals at Rugby Park as Kelly tried to play out from the back. Mayo just took a heavy touch and then manages to get the pass off to Stokes. He goes back to Hemming, and then before Shanklin can get to him, fires it forward looking for Lafferty, who wins the flick on above Kingsley, but Mackenzie can't hold on to it. The Kilmarnock do have it back in the centre of the park. Possession exchanging hands pretty swiftly at the moment as it's played forward to Lafferty once more. This time it was Kingsley winning the header, but the assistant's got his flag up for offside against Kyle Lafferty. Hearts free kick, Killie nil, Hearts nil, 16 played.
It's been an enjoyable match so far, I have to say. A couple of chances for either side. It's getting played at a good tempo. You can see what Hearts' game plan is very clearly. Kilmarnock going quite direct a lot of the time up to Kyle Lafferty, trying to get the run of Jordan Jones and Rory Mackenzie off of him.
Yeah, and I think Tom, that is a fairly sort of basic tactic, but against the sort of full backs that are playing centre backs for Hearts, Kyle's won nearly every header so far, and Jordan Jones has such pace that if he does get it right and they can connect, then that would be the biggest threat for Kilmarnock, I think.
Lafferty does get the flick on. There's Kilmarnock in there. Lafferty bashes it off Jordan Jones there. Armstrong picks up, but Snodgrass robs him in the middle of the park, feeds it out to Barry Mackay on the halfway line, left-hand side, nudges it forward for Shanklin, who spins away from Ash Taylor, who then dives in and gets something on the ball, but still alive, and Lewis Mayo will have to clear before he goes out for a corner. Does do, and knocks it out for a throw-in instead to Hearts on the left-hand side, midway inside the Killie half. Killie beat Hearts earlier in the season in the League Cup, 1-0 win at Tynecastle. Innes Cameron getting the goal on that occasion. Cameron on the bench for Killie this afternoon, and they've actually, that was the 5th consecutive win over Hearts, who have won a corner over in the far side. The Hearts left, which will be taken by Robert Snodgrass, who missed out in midweek. He's ineligible for the European ties, having been signed too late, and the referee just blowing the whistle to make sure the players inside the box aren't jostling too much as Snodgrass prepares to send in the corner from the left-hand side, left-footed once more. The former Scotland international looking to pick out a teammate. A whole host of bodies at the edge of the box in maroon and blue, trying to either find space or track the runner. Snodgrass will just have to replace the ball though, because the wind is
see the corner
gusting here at Rugby Park. Snodgrass then steps up into the 6-yard box. Shanklin gets the header, downward header, bounces up. Hemming clutches it, and it remains Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0.
That's easier than his previous chance.
It can't be. It can't be. Well, I tell you what, he's got to score that, hasn't he?
He has. I mean, the ball's right on his head. It's really interesting because him and Stokes were the ones the referee spoke to about wrestling, and they actually just continued to wrestle all that time. They were waiting for the corner to come in, and he managed to just free himself from Stokes.
Shanklin gives chase again. Stokes is the Kilmarnock player back. He touches it back to Hemming, who plays it out to Taylor. Cool play at the back from Kilmarnock. The two central defenders involved, and then Power getting it off his goalkeeper. And now it's Crescent feeding it down the left-hand side for Jones. Jones up against Atkinson. It's not a good touch from Jones. You'd have to say Atkinson doing well, though, to be fair to the Australian international. And he steps forward onto the halfway line. Infield for Snodgrass, who's looked pretty comfortable in the opening exchanges in that central midfield area. Out to Mackay it goes. And now back with Halliday just inside his own half. Snodgrass then picks up and plays it to Cochrane. Square for Kingsley, who steps away from Lafferty. Kingsley always trying to get it back onto the left foot, which does just look slightly cumbersome at times, playing in that right centre-back role, but he's got the pass away. Halliday has it now. Just inside Kilmarnock territory. Snodgrass back to Cochrane. Time to think about what he wants to do. And what he does is fires it out to this near side, looking for Humphreys. Crescent again, reading the path of the ball. He saw it all the way and plays it to Jones, and then Stokes forward up to the halfway line. Mackenzie just gets something on it, and Lafferty brings it into feet, and Power now stepping forward. Challenged there by Atkinson, who had been caught way upfield, and it's a free kick to Kilmarnock right in the halfway line. We've played almost 20 minutes, still no goals at Rugby Park, but as we mentioned a couple of times, a decent contest so far.
Yeah, it was probably quite a good foul from Nat Atkinson there. He was out of position. Alan Power was breaking. He had to bring him down because there was a gap where he was vacated. Here's
Snodgrass powering forward. Blair Alston trying to get back with him. Slips out to the left-hand side to Mackay. Now back infield. Forrest, edge of the box. Great challenge by Power. Comes to Mackay. In it goes. Humphreys is there. Hemming saves. No flag, and it would have stood, but the header from Humphreys was straight at Zach Hemming. A good counter-attack from Hearts there, and it comes to nothing in the end. Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0.
Is that even easier than the last one?
It's three big chances.
Oh, that's three massive. You know, I watched Hearts when they came back from Riga playing Motherwell, and they won 3-0, but it was never a 3-0 match. You know, Motherwell played really, really well. I mean, Hearts are in a different situation altogether here. They're the ones that have had the opportunities to score. Well, I would consider it to be easy chances, and that's passed up 3 of them already.
That's the thing, you know. I mean, that chance there, if he puts it anywhere other than straight at Hemmings, it's a goal. It's a header from what, 3-4 yards out. All right, he's having to stoop for it, but straight at the goalkeeper. I suppose the positive thing for Robbie Nielsen is that they are creating these opportunities. A lot of really good deliveries into the box.
Yeah, 3 golden chances, you have to say, that Hearts have created. Mackay in the early moments of the game, and then Shanklin and Humphreys both having headers saved by Hemming. Here's Mackenzie out to the left-hand side to Jones. Jones right-footed, crosses away by Kilmarnock. Lafferty brings it down. Now Power and Lafferty getting a bit mixed up between them, but Kilmarnock do retain possession. It's Stokes out to the left-hand side for Crescent, just inside the Hearts half, flicked forward by Power on the outside of the right boot, but it's aimless and easy for Craig Gordon. And just going back to those 3 Hearts chances, they've all been very good ones, and you would expect to have taken at least one of them in these opening 22 minutes at Rugby Park. As it is, they failed to do so. Danny Armstrong passing up the only real opportunity for Kilmarnock, a header at the back post that went wide as Hearts try and mount another attack, but it's knocked back by Mayo to the goalkeeper Hemming and played out short to Stokes. Midway point in the first period as we await the first goal.
Well, you know, we spoke before the game about Hearts' defence and how it might be vulnerable, would have no centre-backs in the back line. Well, it's Kilmarnock that have been, the most vulnerable of the 2 defences. They have, that's 3 glorious chances that they've given away. They're very, very lucky still to be in this game.
Well, that last one in particular, I looked down at Derek McInnes, he was going crazy at a young fullback Crescent, because he hadn't managed to get touch tight. He'd allowed Humphreys to get goal side of him, and really when you think about it, he has to score.
Atkinson picks up possession just at the edge of his own penalty area, turns away from McKenzie, then plays a short ball forward for Kilmarnock Soglu. He gets the pass up to Shanklin. It's a brilliant bit of control on the halfway line by Shanklin to fend off Stokes and feed Forrest. Humphreys goes ahead of him, but Forrest keeps a hold of the ball. Powers with him on the right hand side as Hearts come forward. He goes back the way to Atkinson and then back further to Kingsley just inside his own half. Hearts certainly looking the more likely in these early exchanges, but yet to find the goal. Cochrane out to the left hand side to Mackay. Back with Cochrane, who gets his pass away just before Lafferty stepped in to rob him, and now it's Kingsley midway inside his own half for Snodgrass. Invites Kingsley forward onto the halfway line. Out it goes to Atkinson and then slides it down the right. It's a good run by Forrest, who'll get there just before Crescent. A few yards away from the goal line on the right hand side. Forrest trying to find room for the cross. He does get it across goal, not dealt with initially, and then Mayo just slices at it with his left foot and does manage to get it clear, but fortunately for him it fell to a Kilmarnock player and they're able to get it clear, but Hearts will try to come again. McKenzie though wins it for Kelly. Lafferty dinks it down the line. Jones. Kingsley goes down off the ball with McKenzie just blocking him, but the referee saw nothing wrong with it. It will be a throw into Kelly. Just
quite
in the halfway line.
by McKenzie there, wasn't it? Just stepped in.
Wee body check.
Yeah, he just stepped in front of him.
Throw in on the left hand side then as the rain teems down in Ayrshire. Added to the strong wind. It's not ideal conditions, you have to say.
No, it chucked the pitch in there as well. But actually, the game's been entertaining enough, even with the conditions.
Stokes' throw-in is met by Humphreys for Hearts, and then Snodgrass picks up, plays it to Halliday. On the edge of his box, it's Cochrane. Plays a better back pass this time to Craig Gordon, who's able to launch it upfield, looking for Shanklin, but Taylor was first to it. Atkinson returns it with the head. Taylor tries to bring it down in the chest, miscontrols it. Mayo though plays it forward for Lafferty, who was trying to nod it down for McKenzie. He didn't execute it well enough and it came through to Craig Gordon, but it was a decent idea. Just doesn't pull it off.
He's kind of blaming McKenzie there, but I mean, I think he was hoping McKenzie was going to be running through on Craig Gordon, but McKenzie had stayed square of him. I think I probably put the blame
on
Lafferty.
Mr. Lafferty, yeah.
Lafferty's right there.
Kilmarnock Soglu for Hearts, back to Kingsley, midway inside the Hearts half. Snodgrass now back to Cochrane. Cochrane's forward ball is cut out by Armstrong. Kelly come down the right hand side. Armstrong up to the edge of the penalty area, trying to take on Cochrane. Fires it across goal, no takers. Alston was closest to it by a good yard or two behind it. Good invention from Danny Armstrong, who certainly looks like he's in a good vein of form just at the moment.
You can see the confidence he has. He gets one-on-one, runs down the line, shows really good pace, fires the ball across the face of the 6-yard box. Kyle Lafferty had kind of checked out to the penalty spot, and Blair Olsen was trying his best to make up the ground to get in there, but just couldn't quite get quick enough.
Yeah, I mean, if he had got there, it was a tap-in, wasn't it? The centre of the goals. He did try valiantly to get there, but Armstrong's put the ball right across the face of the goal, and if it had been a Kilmarnock player there, even Craig Gordon would have struggled to keep that out.
Blair Alston, who got the dramatic last-minute title-winning goal here against Arbroath last season, as Kilmarnock bounced straight back from relegation to win the championship. It's a free kick over on the far side to Hearts, much to the dismay of the fans in the stand on that opposite side from us. We felt that Kilmarnock were hard done by there. 27 minutes played, still Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0. You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Sounds on Radio Scotland Extra, digital, medium wave, online. As Kelly come down the right hand side once more. Alston with a chance, this time straight into the arms of Craig Gordon. That was a glorious opportunity for the onrushing Alston, but he could only shovel it into Craig Gordon's arms.
Oh, I don't know about you, Tom. Should he have taken a touch? I thought the ball was a little bit in the middle of his feet, and he had loads of room to take a touch and steady himself.
Even if he takes a touch and he looks to his left hand side to where Lafferty was, nobody had picked up the run of Lafferty, so a simple pass and Lafferty would have had a tap in. He's probably got to do better than he did with the
Yeah.
finish. I think I'd probably have hit it first time, but you know, it's a simple save in the end for Craig Gordon. But good football from Kelly. Hearts just making a couple of errors. It comes from a giveaway.
Good challenge by Alston in the middle of the park on Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock buoyed by recent forays forward. Good play from Chrisen also to avoid the challenge from Atkinson. We should have had about 5 goals here this afternoon already. We've had none. Both sides threatening, both sides creating good opportunities, and both sides missing big chances as Humphreys picks up and cuts inside away from Chrisen, but straight into Power, who plays a 1-2 with Alston. The home fans like what they're seeing just in the last few minutes. It's Jones coming down the left-hand side on the overlap as Chris Stokes into the penalty. He comes, cuts it back. Power deflected wide by Cochrane. Looked like that might have beaten Craig Gordon, who thanks Cochrane for the intervention. It will be a Kilmarnock corner.
Oh, another glorious opportunity. Glorious opportunity. That one, I mean, it looked as if it was going in.
Yeah.
But I think Cochrane did a brilliant job of managing to throw a leg at it and divert the ball over the crossbar.
You have to say the overlapping run from centre half Chris Stokes is absolutely brilliant. He bursts himself 40-50 yards. Jordan Jones slips him in. It's a brilliant pick out. And yeah, you're right, it was going in until the intervention. What an overlap that was from a centre half.
Danny Armstrong to take the corner, left footed from the left-hand side, and it comes. Oh, it hit the arm, I think, at the back post of Stokes after a couple of bodies had hit the deck, and it's just gone tamely behind. In any case, for I think the referee just given a goal kick, but well, it's been end to end at times, and could easily have been 3-3 by now, Craig.
Yeah, easily, and there's been mistakes from both teams, which adds to the excitement. But I do think that just looking at that corner there, there's a huge height advantage for Kilmarnock at set pieces, and Hearts just have to be careful not to give away any silly free kicks or corners if they can help it.
Kilmarnock have really come into the game in the last 10 minutes or so, and Jordan Jones picks up for them. Half an hour in, Jones trying to get on the end of Mackenzie's return pass, but Humphreys is back there defending and just sees it out for a goal kick. Good play from the on-loan Wigan man. In fact, they're both on loan from Wigan now, I come to think of it, him and Jones.
Yeah, I saw them chatting before the game, and I was trying to kind of piece that together myself, Al, so thanks for that.
Not at all, that's what I'm here for, I think. Here's Kingsley. Back it goes from Snodgrass. Cochrane again just looks slightly uncertain when he gets the ball inside his own penalty area, but he does get the pass away to Halliday, and Halliday bursts forward down the left-hand side. It's Forrest who's drifted out there a few yards away from the goal line, looking to take on Mayo. Touches it back for Snodgrass. First time ball in, comes off the head of Mackenzie, and it will be a Hearts corner. This has been a really decent game.
Really good.
It's very, very good indeed.
It was a decent effort in terms of the ball in from Snodgrass there. First time trying to whip it in between the goalkeeper and the defenders, and it was a kind of last ditch header away from Mackenzie for the corner.
Snodgrass to take again from the left-hand side. He's tried a couple already as Shanklin tries to lose Stokes inside the penalty area as he did the last time. Couldn't convert. Couple of bodies again hitting the deck in there. Nothing given. It comes back out to Snodgrass after it was headed wide. Here's Humphreys on the edge of the penalty area, looking to find room for the shot. Just runs into Power. In steps Taylor. That is a poor challenge from Taylor.
He's going to get big, surely. Do you not think he dived there?
He did. Yeah, he was expecting the tackle and he went down, didn't he?
The referee's bought it. I mean, that, for me, there was no contact, and he's actually down before the contact. I can't believe the referee's bought that.
Well, Taylor didn't protest, I don't think, did he? I thought there was.
I didn't see him protest. I mean, I think Taylor went in with the intention of winning the ball. I don't know if he pulled his leg out at the last minute, but
was no contact.
Was it Humphreys that went down? Yeah. I mean, there wasn't any contact, you're right, but he threw himself to the ground.
Well, he's won his side a free kick in a very, very good position, especially if you're Stephen Kingsley and indeed Robert Snodgrass. Both terrific set-piece deliveries from either of these two. Very central area, just actually right of centre, which favours the left foot of either Kingsley or Snodgrass.
Kingsley's just so good at these. It's perfect for him.
He is, but Snodgrass steps up and it does go for goal. It's straight at Hemming, who tosses it up into there the first time and then catches it at the second time. He got good whip on it, Snodgrass, but it was too central, and it remains Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0.
Yeah, I mean, Kingsley's scored quite a few of those in recent matches, so it's a strange choice for me. I mean, I know Snodgrass does have really good quality with that left foot of his, but and it was a decent effort, but just too straight.
Yeah, well, Snodgrass pulling rank there on Kingsley, who, as you say, Craig, is more than capable from that range. Kilmarnock penalised over on the far side. You would imagine if they get another opportunity like that, it would be Stephen Kingsley's turn. But some of the free kicks he's scored in his Hearts career have been absolutely amazing.
When you've got a weapon like that in your team, in terms of Kingsley's quality from set plays, then I'm surprised he didn't take it. I have to say though, the effort from Snodgrass was a decent effort. You know, he got plenty of power, plenty of whip, just too straight towards Hemmings.
Cochrane put under pressure, and he get the throw in over on the far side. But any time that he or Craig Gordon pick up possession, they're being quickly closed down. Andy Halliday to take the throw in. 33 minutes played at Rugby Park. It's Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0. Very entertaining goalless draw so far, I have to say. And that's without even trying to put a positive spin on it. It genuinely has been 3 or 4 chances for either side. And not just half chances either, like real proper goal-scoring chances that have been passed up or saved. As Kilmarnock come forward looking to create another one. It's Kingsley though across to mop up and fires it forward over the halfway line. Taylor's underneath it, heads it back forward. Lafferty can't control it, and it's picked up by Cochrane into the middle of the park. Barry Mackay has come in field into the centre circle and plays it out to the right hand side for Humphreys. Up against Crescent, step over from Humphreys. Crescent trying to stay with him. He's done well, the young fullback. Wins possession, keeps it in and fires it down the left, out for a throw-in. But good play from the 18-year-old, who's started all 7 since he came to the club, and looks the part at the moment as Mackay tries to feed it forward. Crescent's in the way, but it does come back to Mackay. Infield to Forrest forward. He thought he saw the run there of Mackay, but he checked out, and it's safely at the feet of Zach Hemming, who'll just wait for Mackay to approach him before picking up. Just over 10 minutes to the interval, and it's still goalless.
I don't know who the happier of the two managers will be if it stays this way till half time. I think they'll both be unhappy actually that they've passed up glorious opportunities, and they'll both be unhappy at their defences for allowing opportunities for the opposition.
But at least maybe somewhat pleased that they are creating opportunities at the same token. So a throw into Hearts to be taken by Nat Atkinson, 15 yards or so inside his own half. He'll have hopes of being in that World Cup squad for the Socceroos when it's announced in the next couple of weeks, I guess. One of a number of Scotland-based Australians who might find themselves in World Cup action. We all watch on with frustration. Craig Gordon with the ball at his feet inside his penalty area, looking for options as he clips it forward. Just Shankland is the target, but Ash Taylor matched him well, and then it's knocked forward by Mayo. Back to Craig Gordon from the head of Cochrane.
They've not had a good chance in about 5 minutes. I don't know what's happening here. Oh.
Here's Halliday setting about, trying to create something, crossing the halfway line on the left-hand side for Hearts. It's Forrest who's drifted out there. Kilmarnock Soglu inside the penalty, puts it back to Mackay. Turns inside, can't get away from Mackenzie, and then it's swept away by Crescent for the throw. And it doesn't look like Hearts have just switched players around. I know obviously they're fluid in terms of their attacking players, but I think Forrest has drifted out to the left-hand side with Barry Mackay a bit more central at the moment, Craig.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happened. Mackay tends to just float around in behind, well, whether it be a winger or sometimes whether it be the striker, but he's really clever at picking up spaces. So I think Robbie just allows him to wander and drift and see if he can try and find a pocket of space where they can hurt the opposition. Shankland
keeps a hold of the ball in tight area. Forrest gets out to Halliday inside the penalty, just tries to go in between a couple of Kilmarnock players, Armstrong and Mayo, but there was no way through, and it breaks back to Zach Hemming, who immediately bowls it out to Armstrong on the right hand side, cuts in field and tries to fire it out to this near side, the Kilmarnock left, onto the chest of Jordan Jones. Back comes Humphreys to try and stop him. Atkinson there too, he has to go back the way to Crescent, 15 yards into the Hearts half. Crescent gets it back from Power, and then back the way to Stokes, and back in field to Taylor. Hearts closing down the space pretty well there. Taylor gets it to Mayo and into the centre of the park to Power. Looks forward but then goes back to Mayo, and in field once more, middle of the park to Ash Taylor, midway inside his own half. Looks forward and then Fires the diagonal, looking for Chris N, who has to head it down the line and gets it to McKenzie. McKenzie up against Atkinson, good ball in field. Jordan Jones looks up, can he pick out a teammate? Lafferty was closest to it. Kilmarnock got back there and concedes the corner. 8 minutes to the interval, and it's still goalless. But Kilmarnock pressing at the moment.
That was excellent play from Kilmarnock, and Rory McKenzie in particular. Comes to Jordan Jones eventually, tries to just flash it across the 6-yard box. Hearts did well actually to get a couple of players across that front post and clear it. But here's what Craig was talking about with Kilmarnock's.
Yeah, it's Armstrong in, won by Kilmarnock to the edge of the box. McKenzie fires it in. Who did that come off? And it goes behind. The referee decides it came off a Kilmarnock player on his way through, and it will just be a Hearts goal kick. And as we approach half time, it remains Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0.
A sense of a little bit jittery Hearts when there's a set piece, and a little bit panicky there as well. So, you know, it's something, as I said earlier, I think we need to be aware of in the second half. I mean, there's such a big height advantage in Kilmarnock's favour.
Here's Halliday, left-hand side, feeds it forward. Mayo just knocks it out of play for a Hearts throw-in, more or less on the halfway line on the left for Hearts. Halliday to take. Down the line it goes for Shankland, holding off Taylor. Taylor then plays it off Shankland. It will be a Kilmarnock throw-in. Good defending from Ash Taylor. And Mayo will take this throw-in. Won the last 2 home games, Kilmarnock, St Johnstone and Motherwell. 2-1 wins in both of them. Down the line it comes from Mayo. Was there a little shove there from Kyle Lafferty? Yes, as the referee. Helps Andy Halliday to his feet. The free kick wasn't taken from where the foul happened, but play continues, and it's fired forward by Atkinson. Chris Stokes will surely just see that out of play before Shankland can get there. It will be a goal kick to Kelly. Yeah, there has been a bit of a dearth of opportunities just in the last few minutes, as you say, Stephen.
Well, that one, when Jones flashed that across, was, I suppose, in any other match, a decent opening. But when you've seen the chances that we've witnessed here in this first half, then that becomes very much a half chance.
Goal kick to the home side. Sit second bottom, a couple of points above Dundee United. The teams about them, United and Ross County in particular, both won. But they sit just a point behind Ross County. And it's Armstrong for Jones, about 30 yards from goal, up against Atkinson, trying to get back onto the right foot, goes for goal, just wide. Craig Gordon was diving full length as Jones shot arrowed just past the post. Another good effort here at Rugby Park, and another one that just misses the target. Killie 0, Hearts 0.
I'll tell you, I like the look of Armstrong. I know it was a great shot of goal, but
the switch of play before.
Yeah, the switch of play was fantastic, and he's got a real change of direction that's very difficult for the fullback to be able to cope with it. He just drops that shoulder, comes in at his left side, and he's hit a 40-yard diagonal there out to this opposite winger, and it was a really good effort at goal by Jordan Jones.
I mean, it must only been a foot past the post. You know it was close because Craig Gordon was really at full stretch trying to get it.
Yeah, I wonder if it had been on target whether he would have got there. Jordan Jones has fed it through, looking for Alston. Alston's in behind. Is he dragged down there by Atkinson? No penalty given. Kilmarnock still come forward. Armstrong, edge of the penalty area. Hearts getting bodies back now to try and defend, but that's a huge call for a penalty from Kilmarnock, and the home fans boo as the ball's out on the far side. Blair Alston cannot believe that the referee hasn't awarded the spot kick there.
It certainly looked it to me, I have to say, on first viewing, that it definitely looked like there was a wee tug back.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was he pulled his arm, didn't he? Just got in the penalty box.
Yeah, because he got there first, tried to kind of pass it back, made a bit of a hash of it. Then Alston's through one-on-one pretty much with Craig Gordon. And to me, there was a tug.
And you shouldn't have to throw yourself at the ground to convince the referee that it's a penalty.
No.
You know, and he tried to stay on his feet, but it was still, for me, it was still a foul inside the penalty box. So it's a penalty kick.
I would have to agree. One for Jonathan to look at later with Leanne and Michael.
Yeah, 7:15 BBC Scotland Sports Scene is on, 1:45 on BBC One as Kilmarnock have the corner. Scant consolation unless they can score from this right-hand side as the They look for the opening goal, and it comes, headed away by Snodgrass. Mackenzie on the volley, off target from Mackenzie, and it remains with a couple of minutes left in the first half. Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0.
It'll be interesting, Tomo, to see if going into the second half, there's been so many players pulling and jostling,
There's been a lot in the
jerseys, and the referee's done nothing about it so far. It'd just be interesting to see if it continues to happen. Will he blow his whistle and give a penalty? I mean, if you want to analyse it, I bet there's been half a dozen penalties already.
Yeah, in terms of like pulling shots in the box.
Pulling shots, yeah.
Here come Hearts down the left-hand side. Still trying to find the opening goal. Alan Power, though, steps in and wins possession back off Forrest. And now it's Danny Armstrong on the Kilmarnock right, looking to move away from Kilmarnock Soglu. Sticking with him at the moment, the German. And it's going to be free kick, I think, in Kilmarnock's favour. Danny Armstrong certainly claiming he was fouled. And it is indeed going to be a free kick. Right-hand side, just right on the touchline almost, although Kilmarnock trying to move the ball in a little bit. But the big players coming up from the back, Ash Taylor, Chris Stokes, as Kilmarnock look to try and make the breakthrough before half-time. They had a huge penalty call just a couple of minutes ago as Blair Alston went down under the challenge of Atkinson, who'd been caught the wrong side of him. Nothing given by the young referee, Matthew McDermott. Kilmarnock then with the opportunity here from the right-hand side. And it swings the ball from Blair Alston, headed away again by Snodgrass. Comes to Jones at the edge of the penalty area. Flick by Mayo for Stokes. Stokes left-hand side, cuts the ball back here. Mursoglu's in the way though, knocks it out to the near side. Shankland can't bring it under control. Former Ayr United man. And Kilmarnock will have the throw-in. How we've not had a goal in this first half, I really do not know. Throw into Kelly though. Chrisen midway inside the Hearts half, left-hand side, into the final 30 seconds of the first period. Power under pressure there from Mackay. Free kick to Kilmarnock again. Perhaps the final opportunity of the first half here if they can swing the ball in. Hearts, to be fair, despite the fact that you're saying they've got a height disadvantage, they've dealt pretty well so far with the deliveries into the box, Craig.
They certainly have.
Snodgrass particularly. But they have another one to face right here. Danny Armstrong just moving the ball forward a couple of yards. He and Jordan Jones over this free kick from the left-hand side. Jones leaves it. Oh, it's a poor delivery from Armstrong straight into the arms of Craig Gordon. The final act of a really exciting first half. No goals to show for it, but both sides could comfortably have scored 3 in the first period. The first opportunity fell inside the first couple of minutes and it went Hearts' way. Lawrence Shanklin right through on goal. He opted to square it for Barry Mackay, who somehow with the goal gaping blazed over the top. Danny Armstrong had a header wide early on as well before Hearts had a couple of headers through Shanklin and Humphreys' save from close range. The other end, Blair Alston had a shot straight into the arms of Craig Gordon. Then Alex Cochrane put himself in the way of a goal-bound shot from Alan Power. There was a Snodgrass free kick straight down the throat of Zach Hemming. Jordan Jones fired just wide before half-time as Craig Gordon threw himself full length. And then 3 minutes before the interval, a big talking point as Blair Alston was in behind. Nat Atkinson seemed to pull him back, but nothing was given by the referee. Richard, I'm sure, will have seen pictures of that coming into the building, and we'll have a view of that at half-time. But somehow, no goals in the first half here at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 0, Hearts 0.
Kilmarnock versus Hearts.
Oh, that's a goal! He's got it!
Live on Sports Sound.
From BBC Radio Scotland. Breaking the News returns to help you beat the cost of living crisis.
We spend double the amount of money on fuel driving to faraway supermarkets so we can get some chicken satay for 20 pence cheaper.
We'll bring you even more practical hints and tips.
Would you like to take a cow when my cow's home? That's like having a radiator in your house.
When you leave the room, could you switch the lights off?
Put the big light on.
Oh, the big light.
The new series of Scotland's topical panel show with me, Des Clark.
See the mortgage I pay now. We would go for paying £650 a month to moving back in with my mother-in-law.
Breaking the News starts Friday at 1:30 on BBC Radio Scotland.
Where you're listening to Sports Sound live here on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Richard Gordon, remember the highlights to come tonight, BBC Scotland Channel 7:15, I think it is, for the highlights. And you'll certainly have plenty to enjoy, well, certainly going by the opening 45 minutes at Rugby Park, where Hearts made chance after chance after chance in the first quarter of the game, and it's pretty much been all Kilmarnock ever since, and they've had the big opportunities, and no doubt about the big talking point. Tomo and Craig will make up their own mind once they've seen pictures of this. For me, no penalty.
Oh, really?
Alston does get in front of Cochrane. He does put his hands on him, but as far I can't see a pull. Can't see a tug, I can't see a pull anywhere. His hands are there. I think it crosses his mind and then he lifts his hand off. I think it's probably the left hand that you guys are seeing. Unless there's another replay, which I haven't seen yet, for me it's no penalty. So I think...
Yeah, it was also, Richard, the fact that Alston kind of stumbled at that, just at that point. So that was what led me to believe that he'd maybe, given him a pull on his arm. But I mean, it's over in seconds, and my memory's getting
look, the bottom line is, Craig, that you'll ask, and not just the strikers today, but the strikers going back a few years, if I get touched in the box, I'm going down. I've got the phrase Billy Dodds always used to use was, I've got a right to go down if I'm touched in the box. I'm sorry, you haven't got a right to go down. You have not got a right to go down because you've been touched. But I think I'm sure Neil McCann. Yeah, I'm sure Neil McCann said the same thing. So, like, whether that's in Blair Alston's mind, I'll keep looking, because I would imagine our television colleagues will have more replays that will be coming into the building, and we'll see if there's anything more clear cut. But on the evidence of what I've seen, I wouldn't be giving a
Did Blair Alston make any claim for a penalty?
No, nothing huge.
That's probably
that I saw.
the most telling of the lot.
Although, if we're talking about that, I was very surprised that Ash Taylor didn't make any kind of complaints when he was penalised earlier in the game for what looked like a non-foul on Humphreys, which you guys picked up on.
When he went down on the ground. Yeah.
It's been great, Craig, hasn't it? What a really enjoyable game.
Yeah, I mean, there's been mistakes in it from both teams. There's been inept finishing, I would say, is probably the best way of describing it. But it's been exciting. Both teams are playing with real intensity. I don't think either manager will be unhappy with the effort.
Yeah, sorry, I've just seen a replay. I didn't pick up on this during the game, but there's a ball played over the top of the Killie defence, and Zach Hemming comes out and punches it away. He's about a yard outside the box when he punches it.
I looked at the linesman just as that happened.
Who's in line and he
didn't give it.
Do anything. I mean, he's a clear yard outside the box. Wow.
Yeah, because when it happened, I thought it looks quite close, and I looked immediately at the linesman, but he didn't put his flag up. He didn't do anything. He just, So I mean, that's interesting.
Well, it's just another talking point, and that was actually just before. That was then ended up the move where Humphreys had the free header at the back post.
Was it as bad as it looked? From
yeah. I mean, Barry Mackay he's top of the table at the moment when it comes to the badminton. He's 6 yards out in front of an open goal. Daniel Armstrong's free header, he's got to score with that one for Killie. Alston, there was a weak shot, wasn't there, when he kind of ran onto it and he'd laugh at it. I mean, Al said it could have been 3-3, and it could easily have been 3-3 at half-time, Tommy.
It's the best 0-0 I've ever watched. Yeah. I have to say that. I mean, normally when it's 0-0 and you're sitting at half-time and you're trying to kind of think of talking points and trying to kind of keep it positive and talk the game up, you don't have to do that, because it's been terrific, and I think both teams really going at it. I was kind of worried for Killie at the start of the game with the start that Hearts made, but I have to say I felt as though Kilmarnock finished the half the stronger team. They really grew into it and causing problems. And again, for me, Daniel Armstrong, every time he gets the ball, he's positive with it. You can see, I mean, obviously his goals during the week help, obviously his confidence, but he's a player full of confidence. He's fast, he's intelligent, his movement's good, he's a goal threat. So very, very impressed with him. I think there has been a few kind of giveaways in terms of slack passing on the pitch, but when it's been raining on the AstroTurf pitch, the ball is going at a million miles an hour, and it's very difficult to kind of
judge the way to
control,
pass.
judge the way to pass, various things. But there's been a few errors. But I mean, in terms of quality and entertainment value, yeah, it's right up there.
I suppose it just emphasises the point that Derek McInnes was discussing beforehand, Craig, the difficulty of getting someone who you can rely on to put the ball in the nets on a regular basis at Premiership level.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any of the chances have fallen to Kyle Lafferty as yet. He would be the one that I think that would be the best, would give Kelly the best opportunity of scoring. But yeah, I don't know what the managers will be thinking in there just now. They'll both be ruining the fact that they've missed chances. They'll also have to recognise the fact that they've given up. Each team's probably given up 5 chances in the first half. So there has to be some cognizance of that. And the both managers will need to speak about their defending, because the defending, although it's 0-0, has been pretty poor at times. Yeah,
I mean, when you look at the front four that we talked about before the game for Hearts, I think Shankland's done well in terms of how he's held the ball up, a couple of really good passes through. They've moved Barry Mackay essentially because he wasn't getting on the ball. For me, he wasn't doing enough, and he wasn't being an influence on the game. Forrest again has drifted in and out, hasn't really had that big an impact. Humphreys obviously had that big chance with the header at the back post, but out with that, I think Robbie Neilson will be looking for more from that front four in terms of their impact on the game, flipping that round to the Kilmarnock front four. I think Daniel Armstrong and Jordan Jones have done really well at times. I think Rory McKenzie as well. So for me, all the chat before the game was about the Hearts front four. I actually feel as though the front four of Kilmarnock have been slightly more productive.
Yeah, once that initial period, probably 15 minutes of the match, I felt Hearts were on top. I've spoken about this already, but Kilmarnock have gradually, and maybe just gaining confidence as they've gone along, they've gradually come into the match. And the two wingers for me are the key for Kilmarnock. They've looked very, very lively. That shot by Jordan Jones, Richard, how far past the post?
Oh, close. Yeah,
I mean, it was great play by him. And he knew what he's going to do, but it's difficult to stop him. You know, he's so quick. He shifts the ball really, really quickly. So yeah, I mean, it's been a fantastic match. It really has.
I can't believe I'm just in attention. Billy Dodge is casting aspersions on my assessment of the Blair Alston penalty, and he hasn't even seen it. He's in the car. He's got up the road. He's obviously being driven because he wouldn't text and drive at the same time.
This is true.
It's unbelievable. Well, the point he's making was, I bet you if it was a Cove player, you'd be screaming for a penalty. Well, you kind of do that, don't you, if it's your team? But you just sit and watch the reruns. I look forward to getting an apology from Mr. Dodds later in the day.
So Billy's been giving comment on the radio.
On games, things he hasn't seen.
He's not at.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Just
right. Dodds, shut it.
Here come the replays. They've run through replays of every other incident, and it's one of those where you can see why as the play is in full flow, you can understand exactly what everybody claims. Of course you claim because you see your player going down in the box. Nah.
I'll take your word for it, Richard.
I think what then happens is Blair Alston allows the ball to kind of, he doesn't even the ball's running away from him, and he goes down actually to reach the ball. He slides down so he can get a toe on the ball to try to divert it past Craig Gordon, who's out quickly and blocks it. But no penalty for me.
Okay, that's that cleared up.
Well, yeah, you say that until you've seen it, and then I get a blizzard of text from you guys as well. Who
seemingly you don't need to see it.
No, you don't need to see it. Anyway, I mean, more than anything, just want this play, this excitement to continue in the second half. It's been really, really good. Another just a fine example of what teams are capable of, I think, in the Premiership. Yeah,
I mean, both teams have come with the intention of attacking today, and that's what's been really quite exciting about it. And there's been, as I said, there's been mistakes, which sometimes you need to give you that excitement, don't you? You know, the slack passes and such like. So the game is definitely for me on the knife edge. I don't know what's going to happen in the second half. It's still raining here, so the pitch is going to get faster. So does that mean there'll be more mistakes? does it you know, do Kilmarnock have that little bit extra because Hearts have played in this European match? I don't know, maybe, but the longer the game goes, we'll find that out.
Incidentally, I have to offer a clarification on behalf of Neil McCann, who heard me suggest that I put him in the same camp as Billy Dodds. The whole, if I get touched in the box, I have a right to go down. No, he only went down when there was huge unfair contact, or if a daft defender stuck a leg out for me to kick.
I tell you what, the boys are enjoying the text messages today. Neil McCann sent me a picture of a steamroller after my wee faux pas before the game. He's obviously enjoying his Sunday afternoon.
Oh, that's nice.
We've got at least 2 people listening. That's good.
I know. Well, there you go.
It's amazing. Well, it doesn't amaze me, but Sunday afternoon seems to be a good afternoon actually for people being out and about. I get a lot of comment about the games that we're doing and the reaction to the matches. And I suppose what it does, I mean, it really does kind of say, if I'd been driving around today, I'm listening to this, I can't wait actually to watch the highlights tonight. Get back, get sports scene on the telly, 7:15, and watch the highlights, because there'll be plenty to come. There's already plenty from yesterday's games. So much to look back on from this afternoon. I just hope it doesn't fall flat in the second 45. I
don't see it happening.
No, you think both teams will have the same attitude as they've had in the first?
Yeah, I do, and I think because of the players that are on the pitch, and when you look at looking at the 2 benches, and you look at Kilmarnock's Doidge, Innes Cameron, Ollie Shaw. For Hearts, you know, they don't have as many kind of attacking options certainly to bring on, but for Kilmarnock, maybe Craig's right. Maybe as the game does wear on, you'll see a kind of fatigue maybe setting in from Hearts, and I think that looking at the benches, Kilmarnock have got more firepower.
The players just beginning to make their way back out. Gosh, it's a busy afternoon. Just a confirmation that people are going to be tuning at the sports scene in their droves tonight to watch the highlights of this game and all the other matches, of course, from the Premiership from yesterday. It is 0-0, but it's been, as Tomo just said, it's been the best 45-minute 0-0 match he's watched in his life. So let's hope it lives up to that kind of billing in the second 45 minutes. Full times in England: Crystal Palace 2, Leeds United 1, West Ham United 3, Fulham 1. It is goalless at Rugby Park, but it seems highly unlikely that will continue, given what we've seen so far. Really, really enjoyable. Back to our commentary team of Stephen Thompson, Craig Levine and Al Lamont.
Thanks again, Richard. Thanks for jinxing that second half for us. Rory McKenzie about to get things back underway. No changes at the interval. So both sides, as they were at the start of the game, hold of chances in that first period. Long may that continue. Will we see some goals? McKenzie awaits the referee's signal. So it sounds like that big penalty claim that Kelly had before the interval wasn't as big as we thought from our commentary position, but you will be able to make up your own mind on Sports Scene at 7:15 on BBC Scotland this evening. And Michael Stewart, who's one of the guests on the programme, was helpfully texting me at half-time to say it was Alex Cochrane who was the defender closest to Alston rather than Atkinson, as I thought it was. But he hasn't.
Like Michael, he doesn't like to prove people wrong.
Hasn't committed to saying whether he thought it was a penalty or otherwise.
You bottle it as normal.
Anyway, here come Kilmarnock, left-hand side, and it's Crusen picking up. Knocks it forward. McKenzie's in the penalty area, left-hand side, just held up momentarily by Kingsley. Cross comes in from Stokes, who likes to get forward from that centre-back area, doesn't he?
Well, that run he made in the first half was absolutely sensational. 50-yard overlap, and again he's found himself in a really good area. Kilmarnock, as Craig rightly points out, do have a height advantage and another chance to put the ball in the box. They're going with the outswinger. With this wind and swirling rain, I'd be tempted to put it in on top of the keeper, but...
And it swings. Taylor's up there. Stokes is there. Must be. It's in. Kilmarnock have the goal. Chris Stokes takes the acclaim, bundling it all over the line. And Kilmarnock, well, they've been threatening a goal, as have Hearts, but it's Kilmarnock who've grabbed it. And Chris Stokes, as Craig Gordon complains to the referee that he was being fouled. And Stokes, the opening goal scorer. It's Kilmarnock 1, Hearts 0.
I think Craig Gordon's suggesting that he was maybe being held.
He's complaining about something, that's for sure.
But the ball in the delivery is actually very, very good into a great area. But this is the first one that Hearts don't deal with. The first contact.
And there was a bit of panic. There was a bit of panic, and the ball stayed in the box, which is, as an attacking team, that's what you're trying to do. If you can't get a header on goal, make sure the ball stays in the penalty box. That's what happened. It looked like there was a couple of ricochets.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then I don't even know who scored, but
I think it's Stokes.
Well, Chris Stokes was certainly taking the acclaim, but it was pretty unclear. Kyle Lafferty taking his time to get back to the halfway line. One way or the other, Kilmarnock are ahead. And Hearts have it all to do now. And well, we waited all first half thinking it was going to be a goal with all the chances that were being created. We didn't have to wait too long in the second period.
Well, the game's been deserved of a goal, and I think that's not going to be the last goal we see this afternoon, that's for sure.
Craig Gordon with the ball at his feet. Hearts have lost 8 of their last 11 games, which is quite an incredible run. They've only beaten St Johnstone, Riga and Motherwell in that period, and they find themselves behind this afternoon at Rugby Park. And Kelly have the throw in the right hand side, midway inside the Hearts half. A lead to defend now as Alan Power is caught there surely by Barry Mackay, and it will be a free kick 10 yards inside the Hearts half to the home side. Good atmosphere inside Rugby Park this afternoon as well. The game's not being televised live, which probably helps somewhat, and despite the adverse weather conditions, both Kilmarnock and Hearts have brought good followings to the game. It's Danny Armstrong to take this free kick, arrows it in towards the penalty area. Ash Taylor at the back post, comes off the head of Atkinson. Out comes Craig Gordon to grab it before Stokes can get there. It remains Kilmarnock 1, Hearts 0.
Yeah, it was a free header at the back post, and I think it hit one of the Hearts players in the back of the head, or the ball was going across the face of the goal, and it might have spelt more trouble for Hearts.
Do you think he could have tried to go for goal himself with the header?
I'm not sure. I thought he tried to go back across the goal.
Yeah, he did, but I mean, I'm thinking
he should have done.
Free, I don't know. It's probably a difficult angle, but the ball in again from Armstrong. A fabulous diagonal ball it was.
It was drilled, wasn't it? You were right behind it. It was good.
Kelly have a free kick inside their own half. Danny Armstrong fouled by Mackay.
And serious rain now, Al.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it? It really is. I would hate to be out on the pitch.
Would you? You'd love it.
No, I wouldn't. I'd rather be here at the back of the stand. Maybe 25 years ago. Here's Lafferty out to the left for Jones, trying to get the better in that. Atkinson, who sticks to his task well, and then cleared by Kingsley. Power gets his head to the ball, as does Blair Alston, but it's picked up by Kia Murtsoglu, who just lofts it forward. Ash Taylor underneath it though. Shankland, a nudge in the back right in front of the referee by Kia Murtsoglu. Couldn't have been more blatant on Alan Power. Kilmarnock free kick 50 minutes in. Kelly lead by a goal to 0.
Silly foul to give away. I think Alan Power's clever with it as well. He knows the challenge is coming. As soon as he feels contact, he just kind of motions his body forward, but stupid foul to give away, blatant.
Ash Taylor to take the free kick, just 10 yards or so inside his own half. Knocks it long, looking for Lafferty. It's over his head, over Kingsley. Atkinson knocks it forward with the left foot up towards Humphreys. Won though by Chris N. He's done well against Humphreys, you'd have to say, so far. Although he did allow him in the blind side on one occasion. Humphreys probably should have scored with a header. It was straight at Zach Hemming. Hearts have it. Halliday just has to hurry there because his first touch wasn't a good one. Armstrong almost nipped in and robbed him, but Hearts keep possession. And here comes Atkinson into the centre circle, coming out from right back, knocks it back to Snodgrass. A couple of Kelly players round about him, does brilliantly to keep possession for Hearts there, finds Atkinson, and now it's Kingsley, but Kilmarnock snapping into the challenges, and now they do have the ball back, and it's Chris N. Out to the left hand side for Jones. He can't get the better though of Atkinson, and he ends up fouling him, and it'll be a Hearts free kick just inside their own half. 51 on the clock. Kilmarnock 1, Hearts 0.
Yeah, I'm pleased, Al, that the tempo hasn't dropped at all from the first half, and that was the first thing I'd be interested in having a look at. Both teams again are going at it, right at each other.
Here's Mackay, right hand side for Hearts, looks into the penalty area. lifts it to the back post. Mayo's first two. Alan Forrestal gets on the second ball. Shanklin can't bring under control. Good challenge by Taylor, but it falls to Snodgrass, trying to sneak it through for Kilmarnock, but McKenzie was in the way, and he emerges with the ball up towards the halfway line. Then Jones takes over and tries to switch a play out to Armstrong. Armstrong collects. Lovely first touch on the left foot. Forward he comes up to the right hand side of the penalty area. Into the box he goes. He's past Cochrane. Good challenge by Cochrane at the expense of a corner kick. Well, this game just hasn't let up.
No, I mean, one end of the pitch to the other end of the pitch, Robert Snodgrass electing not to shoot when he had a good chance to get a shot away on the edge of the 18-yard box. It goes immediately to the other side, and again, really positive play. Great switch from Jordan Jones and young Daniel
Armstrong,
with a fabulous first touch. And his first thought in his mind is, can I drive it to Hearts defence, which he did, and he's won his team another corner.
Which will be taken by Northern Ireland international Jordan Jones with the right foot from the right hand side. He scored from the last corner kick. Can he do so again? Ash Taylor's in there. Craig Gordon grabs the downward header as it rose back up towards the crossbar, and it remains for the moment Kilmarnock 1, Hearts 0.
That's first contact again from a Killie player at a corner, and I think there'll be definite nerves in the Hearts back line anytime there's a set piece from now till the end of this match. Yeah,
it definitely looks, although we mentioned that they dealt in the first half pretty well with those balls into the box. Second half it's been a different story as Mayo steps forward. Power picks up now. Alston infield for McKenzie into the Hearts half, out to the left hand side for Jones. Kilmarnock looking good just at the moment, up to the edge of the penalty. Infield for Power out to the left for Crescent looking to get the ball into the box. It goes back the way instead. Jones with a shot, comes off Atkinson. It's another Kilmarnock corner. They really are ramping up the pressure right now.
You can see the lift that the goal's given them. Hearts are under severe pressure, and Killie playing some fabulous football, moving the ball quickly, and another corner for the Hearts players to defend.
This one's Armstrong, left-footed outswinger to the edge of the box. Mayo up there, but his header goes wide. And again, as you were saying, Craig, it's a Kilmarnock head winning the ball into the box, and on this occasion young Mayo couldn't hit the target. The wind really is getting beyond the joke, as well as the rain continuing to fall at Rugby Park. The players are putting on a good show, you'd have to say, despite that, as Kingsley just about keeps possession. Then Cochrane forward and finds Shanklin crossing the halfway line. Alston trying to get back at him. Snodgrass in support infield, and he goes out to the left to Halliday back in. Mackay at the edge of the penalty area. First touch was a poor one, which is unusual for him. He couldn't bring it under control. It's now with Humphreys on the right hand side looking for the 1-2 with Snodgrass. He's got it, he's inside, and he goes for goal, but it's gone wide, and it's a goal kick. Humphreys looking for the corner. It was a really nice 1-2 between himself and Snodgrass, but the angle for the shot was a difficult one, and he couldn't find the target. Killie 1, Hearts 0.
Yeah, it's the first sort of very positive piece of play we've seen from Hearts in this in the second half. It's a really good move. Humphreys is strong, played the 1-2 with Snodgrass, and I don't know if he tried to shoot or whether it was a ball deliberately across the face of the goal.
I think it's a shot and he gets it all wrong.
It was a good chance, wasn't it?
Really big chance. It was a fantastic 1-2 from Snodgrass, and Humphreys out-muscles the Kilmarnock defender, and you're thinking he's just going to try and aim for that far post, and got it horribly wrong.
Ash Taylor gets his head to a high ball through the middle. Throw into Killie. 10 minutes played in the second period. Kilmarnock leading by a goal to nil. Chris Stokes, the goal scorer, as Alan Power beats Barry Mackay to the ball. The referee rather getting in the way of Alan Forrest, who nonetheless gets onto it and puts it out to the far side. Humphreys actually wins the throw-in off Crescent, putting him under pressure, and the young fullback concedes the throw-in down at the corner flag on the Hearts' right.
He shouldn't have tried to usher it out. I don't know why he's waiting. Just get there early and play the ball up the line.
Hearts take the throw in into Mackay. Atkinson once more coming in off the right hand side, pokes it to Forrest at the edge of the penalty area on the right hand side. Two Kilmarnock players round about him, goes back to Mackay over on the right. Kilmarnock trying to stay close. Chance for Forrest to cross, digs out across, but it's too deep. Gathered by Armstrong. Did that cross the goal line? Looked it to me, but he gets away with it. Then he goes down under pressure, but it will be a Hearts throw in. Kilmarnock keen to get things underway quickly, and he's caught by Armstrong. That's going to be a yellow card for Danny Armstrong as he tried to nip the ball away from Kilmarnock. He caught the man instead, and I think that's the first yellow card of the game.
There could be no complaints there. I think it's just frustration at not being given the foul by the referee just seconds before that, but he clattered down about a second late.
That was silly, wasn't it?
Very.
Yeah.
And this is a decent position for Hearts. It's right out on the left touchline, almost a couple of yards in maybe for Snodgrass, 25 yards from the goal line. The Hearts are throwing bodies forward, trying to get on the end of this as they search out an equaliser. Having fallen behind from a set piece, can they pull themselves level? It's Snodgrass on the left foot, low ball in, flicked on at the near post by Kilmarnock, but no takers at the back post. Fortunately for Kilmarnock, and it remains with 57 minutes on the clock. Kilmarnock 1, Hearts 0.
I mean, that's a good ball in, a great flick on, and there's got to be at least one Hearts player coming in round the back post. I mean, it's a simple tap in if that was the case. And yeah, I'm watching the static when the ball came in. The only one that moved was Keogh. He's got the flick on it. The rest of them are standing on their heels.
Yeah, it looked like something they'd worked on, so you'd imagine part of what they'd worked on would be getting someone at the back post to get on the end of the flick, but not on this occasion. Still 1-0 Killie as Crescent tries to pick up in the middle of the park. Kilmarnock gets something on it. Humphreys barging into the back. The referee allows play to continue. I think he's indicating that Kilmarnock are still in possession. That's why he's allowing play to go on, but the play will now stop because Kyle Lafferty's been flagged offside. The home fans grumbling about that decision, but they haven't had too much to grumble about in the game. Here's Halliday, passes it back to Craig Gordon, who stumbles. Gordon's under real pressure. It's a goal! Kyle Lafferty robbing Craig Gordon, who stumbled as the ball came back to him, and the former Hearts man Kyle Lafferty took full advantage. Craig Gordon can't believe it. It's Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 0.
Craig Gordon can't believe it. I don't think anybody can believe what they've just seen. The pass back to Craig Gordon, I honestly don't know what he's doing. Does he try to take a touch and then falls over the ball?
I think he got his studs
caught in the
trap. Yeah. I mean, that's all I can think of.
I mean,
that's all I can think
almost inexplicable, but fair play to Kyle Lafferty. He's onto it in an absolute flash and puts it in the back of the net. A rare mistake from Craig Gordon. It'd be interesting to see a rerun of that later on to see if it was actually the pitch that is the reason for that, because I can't think of any other reason why he would, I mean, almost fall to the ground untouched.
I honestly can't explain. You're right, I can't explain what happened. I mean, I can only surmise that he's not moved his feet quick enough, and he's maybe just caught his toe or a stud on the surface, and then he's tripped up and the ball got caught underneath his legs. And to be fair to Kyle Lafferty, he was on it in a flash.
Kyle Lafferty's second goal of the season, his first in the league against his former side, and Kilmarnock really in charge now at Rugby Park. They've started the second half much the better of the two sides. They've got themselves a couple of goals through Stokes and Lafferty, but Craig Gordon, who has been the hero and has won his side many more points than he has cost them, but he cost them dearly there. The pass back from Halliday probably wasn't ideal as the ball from Halliday goes back to Gordon once more. He's got a bit more time this time to measure his clearance, but the home fans letting Craig Gordon know all about that. An uncharacteristic error, and I mean, to some extent you can't really fault him. It's just one of these things. If your boot catches in the turf, then what can you do about it? But it looked bad, and Kilmarnock took advantage, and they have a 2-goal lead just after the hour mark, and looking good for the 3 points at this stage.
The work rate from Kilmarnock at this minute in time is absolutely brilliant. It really is.
Yeah, and Alston winning the ball back again and finding Armstrong on the right hand side. The home fans really enjoying what they're seeing. Armstrong's away from Mackay, but Mackay gets back at him to rob him. The two wingers up against each other there. Mackay coming out on top, doing the defensive work. Snodgrass now as Hearts about to make a substitution. Through goes Humphreys. Can he pull one back? He's round the goalkeeper, slicing it in, and Hearts have got one back. Just a long ball over the top. Humphreys was in on it, and he rounded Zach Hemming to score his first Hearts goal, and they're right back in it. Hearts with the goal. Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 1.
Yeah, two really good bits of play there from Hearts. One from Humphreys, who recognised that Snodgrass had the ball had space to get his head up. He started his run, he bent the run a little bit and started his run in behind, and it was a perfect pass by Snodgrass, landed in his path. He's rounded the goalkeeper and tapped it home into an empty net. This is a game and a half, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, the quality of the pass is absolutely sensational. The run from Humphreys, equally good, and then the composure to round the goalkeeper. But Derek McInnes will be absolutely furious that none of his centre halves managed to track that run. It's one ball over the top, put the winger clean through with the goalkeeper, and he'll be pulling his hair out of that. And at 2-0 you're comfortable, at 2-1 you're not.
The thing is that's noticeable for me is that Snodgrass hasn't had time to do that at any point in this game so far. I don't know, I need to have a look at it and see why he's got so much space without a Kilmarnock player closing him down, because they've been all over him.
They have.
Well, Hearts are about to bring on George Grant. Just before that goal went in, they've rethought things. Halliday slides it through for Kilmarnock. Another chance for Hearts here. Shanklin can't make anything of it. Stokes got in ahead of him, and it'll be a goal kick. Shanklin can't believe it. He's adamant that was a corner, and I have to say, have some sympathy with him.
Yeah, the referees had one or two in this second half that have left me scratching my head a wee bit, and that's one of them. It was another good attack from Hearts down this left-hand side, and when the ball comes in, Shanklin makes a front post run. It's clearly, for me, the defender that gets the touch on the ball. Should have been a corner to Hearts.
Shaw and Doidge had the jackets off just a moment ago as well, after the goal went in, so I don't know what's changed, but they're both back on the bench, and I see Doidge just putting the jacket back on, so Derek McInnes having a rethink about the changes as well. Well, it's getting a free kick against Kilmarnock, and the home fans at the moment feel like the decisions are going against them, but what a game. I mean, the second half has brought the goals that the first half promised.
Yeah, I mean, that was all that was missing from the first half. Real entertainment here today at Rugby Park.
2-1 Kelly, 64 minutes played. Mackay threads it forward looking for Halliday, but in slides Danny Armstrong to knock the ball out of play. A throw into Hearts about 20 yards from the corner flag on the left hand side. They have renewed hope now, having got the goal back so quickly, having fallen 2-0 behind. Kilmarnock going into the back of power to concede the free kick deep in Kelly territory. And Lawrence Shanklin, well, he's having a word with Kilmarnock, saying, look, why are you giving a foul away when we've got them pinned back in here? Yeah. You just need to stand up and keep them in this area.
It was a ridiculous foul to give away, and I think he's personally lucky not to have been booked for that challenge on Alan Power as well. You've got pressure on the opposition, you're forcing them into their final third, and you give away a cheap foul like that.
Yeah, and this is one of Derek's sort of specialities, protecting leads. And narrow goal leads as well, so I mean, I expect Kilmarnock to be really difficult to break down in this last period of the match.
25 minutes still to play. You can probably hear through our microphones that the wind is blowing an absolute hoolie down in Ayrshire. I think it's slightly at the back of Kilmarnock. It's probably swirling more than anything, but Kilmarnock penalised once more for the foul in the middle of the park on Snodgrass this time. We are going to get the changes, and it is Shaw and Doidge who are coming on. I think that tells you something about the tactics that Derek McInnes is going to employ in the closing stages of the game. Looking to get it ball up pretty directly, Craig, you would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, 2-1 up, and he's putting two others. Two strikers going on. Yeah. That's a fairly positive move, I would suggest.
Jordan Jones is one of the players who come off. There might have to be a bit of tinkering with the formation here for Kilmarnock as well. Jordan Jones doesn't look delighted to be coming off, you'd have to say. He's had a good game.
Yeah, for me he's had a good afternoon.
And Lafferty, the other man to be replaced, having got the second goal, takes the acclaim of the home fans. The away fans won't be too bothered seeing the back of him either, as he's ushered off the park, taking his time by the referee.
So I presume Shaw will go out to the left hand side where Jones was,
I don't know. I don't know whether they might
reshuffle,
play two up through the middle. I'm not sure.
Let's wait and see.
Yeah, it looks like he's
it looks like Shaw's going to go to the left hand side.
Two players who have come in, having spent time at Hibs. Doy's just on loan from Hibs at the moment as it's given away by Forrest to Doidge. Can't quite gather the ball as quickly as he would have liked to. He does link with his fellow substitute Shaw, and now it's back with Stokes, who comes forward from the back again. He just tries to touch it to Crescent, but it's a heavy touch and it's off target, and it's out of play for a Hearts throw-in over on the far side. Now this is all shaping up to have quite a barnstorming finish, and we've had a pretty barnstorming first 67 minutes. The first 3 quarters of the game have come and gone, and we've got 3 goals, many more chances. The highlights on Sports Scene at 7:15 on BBC Scotland should be well worth a watch. Here's Kingsley at the back for Hearts, just inside his own half, out to the right hand side for Atkinson. Atkinson tries to fire it forward but succeeds only in knocking it off Ollie Shaw, and out for a throw-in on the far side, midway inside the Killie half. Hearts right, Atkinson throws it into the Hearts goal scorer Humphreys, who's slotted in his first Hearts goal with a plum. Good play from Barry Mackay to step away from a couple of challenges. Now Forrest, edge of the box, can't get through, but 3 Kilmarnock players, and Killie come away with the ball. Shaw had to play the ball earlier, he didn't realise Atkinson was right at his back, and Hearts won it back. That was an opportunity. Then Atkinson almost gives the ball away, but Halliday will go back and keep that ball in play, and it's now Snodgrass who will have the assist for that Hearts goal. Wonderful through ball, exactly the type of thing that Hearts would have brought him in for. There's McKenzie trying to feed it through. Ollie Shaw's through and goal. Can he lift over Craig Gordon? He can't. Saved by Gordon at the edge of his own penalty area, and then knocked away by the keeper. That was a huge chance for Ollie Shaw to potentially finish this game. He couldn't lift it high enough to get it over Craig Gordon. In the end, it was a comfortable save.
Hearts are overcommitting now, and they're leaving themselves wide open at the back, and a through ball there to Ollie Shaw. I know he's just on the pitch, but he's got to do better. Craig Gordon's in no man's land. The ball's bouncing. He's got to just lift it over Craig Gordon, and he hits it probably only 4 feet off the ground straight.
Do you think the wind had a part to play in that?
No, not for me. I think
you've been kind.
Normally Ollie Shaw's really good in situations like that. That's what made me wonder.
Well, I mean, he's got the time if he doesn't want to try the lob, which was the obvious choice, and he should have executed it better. He's got the time to then take a touch and try and take it round Craig Gordon as well, because Craig Gordon's 16 yards out of his goal.
Here come Hearts once more. Was there a tug there on the Hearts player? Shanklin goes down, but the offside flag is up against Shanklin before he hit the deck under Taylor's challenge, and again
Taylor was a lucky boy there.
A controversial moment, but a free kick does go Kilmarnock's way, and George Grant is about to come on. He was poised to come on just before Hearts got the goal back. He will now come on to replace Kilmarnock Soglu, and first change for Hearts as they try to get back and get something from this game, having had a 2-goal deficit. They're back to 2-1, and I don't know, do you think did Shanklin look offside as he ran through to you, Craig?
I didn't think he was offside. That was my first thought, and I definitely think it was a tug on his jersey for sure. So it'll be interesting to have a look at that as well tonight. We're not going to have enough time in the programme, I don't think, this evening.
I think the information we're getting is that it was marginally offside. They've got a lot to cram into. We've got a long programme tonight. We've got loads to cram into this match edit, I have to say, as Humphreys picks up for Hearts. 20 minutes to play. Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 1. A really scintillating game at Rugby Park this afternoon to round off the Premiership action. Here's Humphreys in a central area, about 35 yards from goal. Ash Taylor comes out to meet him, puts the challenge in, just knocks the ball away from him. Referee happy with the challenge, but not happy with the challenge from Snodgrass and Shaw, and it'll be a free kick to Kilmarnock at the edge of the centre circle. But certainly the fluency they were playing with when they went 2-0 up has lessened since Hearts get that goal back, isn't it?
Well, I think rabbits in the headlights for the last 5 minutes, because they've just 2-0 looked like the game was over. Yeah, you couldn't see Hearts coming back into it, but again, that quick goal has unsettled Kilmarnock.
One ball forwards from Kilmarnock, looking for Doidge, but it's headed back by Atkinson to Gordon. He launches it long upfield, looking for Forrest up against Mayo. It's over both their heads. Mayo goes back, brings it under control, and just sees it out of play, even though he had the last touch to it, and it will be a Hearts throw in, but more or less in line with the 18-yard box. Left hand side, it's thrown back to Mackay. Forward once more for Forrest, but in steps Armstrong. Power now, linking with Armstrong in a tight area up towards Doidge, who holds it up. Gives it back to Armstrong clips it up to the halfway line for Mackenzie, brings it under control, under pressure from Grant, does well, and wins the applause from the home fans. And then Taylor fires it out to the far side, kept in by Crescent. Down the line it goes on the left-hand side. Atkinson, though, sees it out of play, tried to take the quick throw in and made a mess of it, and he's fortunate to get another go at that, I have to say. And Kingsley picks up possession, the edge of his box. It's Snodgrass back to Atkinson under real pressure. Can he hold on to the ball? Ollie Shaw it was who was grappling with him. He does get the ball away though to Mackay, and now it's Halliday. And Mackay once more picks up just inside his own half on the left hand side, looking up for options, just plays the short ball to Snodgrass inside the centre circle. Now it's Atkinson, down the right it goes. Humphreys was on his heels, Crescent had read it, but he stumbles as he intercepts, and it's out for a throw into Hearts on the far side, the Hearts right. 72.5 minutes played, Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 1 in a rip-roaring game at Rugby Park this afternoon in dreadful conditions. Stephen Kingsley down the right for Humphreys, can't find a teammate, and Stokes just hammers it forward. Grant's back there, slips as he tries to play the pass. Fortunately for him, Cochrane was close enough, and he gets it back to Craig Gordon, who just gets the pass also to Grant before the Kilmarnock player can step in. Hearts taking chances at the back, but getting away with it on that occasion. Halliday back to Snodgrass, who's the deepest Hearts player of the outfield 10 just at the moment. Halliday now back in field, it goes to Kingsley just inside his own half. Now it's Cochrane stepping up to the halfway line, just right of centre, looking for options. Alston tries to close him down, Grant can't control the pass, and then Dodge finds Mackenzie, who sweeps it forward rather aimlessly, out for a throw-in on the far side. Just over a quarter of an hour to play, Kilmarnock with a slender advantage, 2-1 they lead, and they're thinking about a couple more changes certainly. There's 2 or 3 players going out to warm up as Cochrane picks up at the back for Hearts, knocks it out to the left hand side to Halliday. Halliday infield to Snodgrass, has been influential in the middle of the park, certainly in an attacking sense. Cochrane once more, about 15 yards inside his own half, looks to hit the diagonal for the run of Humphreys. Crescent knows that that's going back to his goalkeeper. It's a poor pass in the end.
Just a lack of movement for me from the Hearts front four. You know, 2 occasions, once Snodgrass and that time Cochrane, looking up and looking for something in front of them and eventually forcing a long diagonal ball.
Alston going in there, claiming for a high boot by Grant, comes off Snodgrass and out for a throw into Kilmarnock. Midway inside the Hearts half, just over 6,500 inside Rugby Park, watching a terrific game of football this afternoon. Hearts try to come forward on the left hand side, Mackay can't keep it in, and it will be a throw into Kilmarnock, who are just trying to slow things down. The tempo for the most of the match has been quite incredible, but Kilmarnock could do with just taking the sting out of it now.
Robbie Nielsen just putting some information on at the park. I think he's going to go 4-4-2 with Humphreys and Shankland up and Forrest going out to the right wing, Mackay on the left.
Zach Hemming knocks the ball long over the halfway line, Kingsley underneath it, helps it back over halfway. Stokes heads it forward. Was it a handball by Ollie Shaw? Yes, it was. Free kick to Hearts just inside their own half. Just under a quarter of an hour left in the match now. Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 1. Kelly looking to potentially move above Ross County if they can get the victory. Level with St Johnstone, they would go on points. I think the goal difference would still be poorer than the Saints, who were perhaps a little unfortunate not to come away with anything from that game against Celtic, having got themselves level in injury time. Forward come Hearts, Shankland back to Atkinson, but 30 yards from goal, out to the right hand side. Forrest trying to find room for the cross, he does, he digs it out. Taylor's there at the edge of his 6-yard box to head out to the left hand side, and Mackenzie just volleys it forward up towards Dodge, who'll try and hold it up. Felt he was being fouled, the referee didn't agree. Hearts have it back as they search for an equaliser. 14 to play. Kelly 2, Hearts 1. Down the right, Hearts come once more. Atkinson in an advanced position. Can he get the ball into the box? Shankland's at the near post. Spencer, no, it's wide of the goal. So unlucky for Lawrence Shankland. Brilliant spin, and he volleyed it goalwards, but it's wide of the far post, and it remains Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 1.
Yeah, good play by Atkinson down that right hand side, and he's played the ball at the front post, and I think it was a really difficult situation for Shankland to be able to get the ball under control. And
he did so well.
Yeah, and he managed to just pop the ball up in there and turn and hit it on the spin, and I thought it was in. I thought it was nestling in the far corner, but it just went past the post.
You're right, he does ever so well. I didn't think the ball in was great from Atkinson in terms of he had options in the box of who to hit, and the ball he did end up playing to Shankland was a really difficult one to control. He takes a really good first touch. It does pop up in there, and that allows him the time to spin and hit it in the volley, and it could only have been a foot past the post.
Yeah, it certainly wasn't far away. As a Kilmarnock player down receiving treatment at the edge of the 6-yard box. Looks like Stokes, who's certainly had problems with injury since he's come to Kilmarnock, and he's limping at the moment, and he might have to be replaced. In fact, I can see that Joe Wright is ready to come on down in front of us, so that'll be a straight swap at the back as Kilmarnock try to see this game out. To Stokes being replaced for the final 12.5 minutes, and it's a loss certainly for Kilmarnock. He's been good at the back as well as helping out coming forward. And Joe Wright, he actually, I think, had a trial at Hearts in the summer before eventually signing for Kilmarnock. I think he was due to potentially sign for Hearts prior to getting a bad injury last summer, but Robbie Nielsen decided against signing him up in the summer, and he's joined Kelly, and on he comes to try and keep Hearts out for his closing 12 minutes. Ball's over on the far side. It's going to be a Hearts throw-in. Kilmarnock fans, they always get that, home fans always have that grievance, or any set of fans actually, they always think the referee's against them, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, there has been one or two occasions where it's been a kind of 50-50 decision and it's gone in Hearts' favour.
Here's Grant for Hearts coming forward. Can't find Humphreys, who slips, but Shankland almost makes something of it, and then Alston steps in and just whips it out to this near side and out for a throw into Hearts. Robbie Nielsen getting it quickly back to Andy Halliday to take the throw in. He gets it from Mackay. Now it's Cochrane. Plays it square for Kingsley. Kingsley comes forward over the halfway line out to the right hand side. Pass forward for Shankland was a poor one. Kilmarnock win possession. It's Ollie Shaw. He's been turned back there quite blatantly by Stephen Kingsley, who will go into the referee's notebook for that, as Kelly tried to break.
Well, it was him that gave the ball away. A really slack pass from Kingsley, and then Ollie Shaw on the counter attack, and a definite yellow card. Pulls the shirt back. An easy one for the referee, that.
Yeah, I can see Kilmarnock just trying to see this out now, and they'll take their time over everything. Throw-ins, free kicks, everything they possibly can, just so another second or two ticks away.
Well, if they got another goal, they would be a lot more comfortable in the closing 10 minutes, as Annie Armstrong throws the free kick into the penalty area. It's won by Lewis Meal, but he heads it out of the penalty box, and Barry Mackay is able to pick up and try and launch a counter attack. Ash Taylor trying to stride back, keep pace with him, plays it forward for Humphreys. Humphreys is into the penalty area, Powers with him, cuts it back, chance for Lawrence Shankland, but it's well over the crossbar to the delight of the home fans. It remains Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 1.
It's a fabulous counter attack, it really is, from Hearts down this left hand side. Barry Mackay with the pass through to Humphreys, a really good pass, fantastic run in behind yet again from Humphreys. He does well to pick out Lawrence Shankland, but as he's arriving at such speed, it's really difficult for him to have control over the shot, and it goes kind of 2 feet over the bar and into the Hearts supporters.
Humphreys has made some good runs.
He has.
I mean, he just takes off, doesn't he? And Hearts have found him on 2 or 3 occasions. I would suggest he probably needs to do even more of that.
Played forward by Hemming, but out of play for a Hearts throw just inside their own half on the left hand side. 9.5 minutes plus injury time left at Rugby Park. Kelly 2, Hearts 1. A really brilliant game it has been to watch. All the goals coming in the second half. Kelly establishing a 2-goal lead, but quickly brought back to 2-1 by Stephen Humphreys' first Hearts goal, and he has been impressive again. As Chris N gets his head to the ball, picked up by George Grant. Poor touch, but Cochrane is there to knock it back to his goalkeeper, who again actually stumbles as he went to play the ball.
Oh, he's not enjoying this, is Craig Gordon.
Here's Cochrane stepping over the halfway line. Back goes Doidge, scythes him down from behind. Yellow card for the substitute, an on-loan Hibs player. Free kick to Hearts about 20 yards inside the Kelly half, and It's a very central area. They will try and create something from it. Clearly Robert Snodgrass the man over it, and if anyone can pick out a teammate, it would be him. Barry Mackay holding a wide position out here on the left hand side. Snodgrass looking at options along the edge of the penalty area. Hearts have thrown most of their players forward. Cochrane more or less the only other player back. Snodgrass into the box it goes, might just be a bit much on that, and Kingsley couldn't keep it in. The assistant on the far side flags for the goal kick, and so with 8 minutes left of the 90, it's Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 1.
Yeah, poor one there from Snodgrass. I mean, I saw Andy Halliday at the far side of the line-up wanting it stood up at the back post. They tried to put a bit of whip on it and just put it too close to the goalkeeper, and more seconds tick by for Kilmarnock.
Yeah, Zach Hemming not in a great rush to take this goal kick. Eventually it's long over the halfway line. McKenzie does really well to climb above Grant, who had a hold of his jersey, but he gets the flick on, but Hearts return it, and then Chrisen has to go back the way and just knocks it out of play on the far side. The Hearts right for a throw-in midway inside the Killie half. Hearts still searching for an equaliser. Atkinson takes it into Grant. Back to Atkinson, sold him a bit short there. McKenzie was able to get in, and he knocks it up towards Doidge. Doidge can't keep a hold of it. Atkinson's there, turns away from his man on the right touchline, does well. Atkinson in off the right he comes, plays it short for Snodgrass, who comes out to this near side to Barry Mackay. In off the left he comes, first touch for Halliday, who couldn't take it in his strider. He really hurt himself as he tried to gather that, can't get back to try and win the ball back, and Kilmarnock come through Armstrong, and now Power. Snodgrass battling away, both players giving absolutely everything to win that. Power still has it, eventually knocks it down the right hand side. Kilmarnock wanted a free kick, it wasn't forthcoming. Halliday seems to be okay, knocks it forward again, looking for Shankland, went down looking for the free kick, and it's not going to come. He's still hurt, Halliday, and he's asking Barry Mackay to just fill in at left back just for the moment, but he might need to make a change as Lyons is about to come on for Killie. It's back with Hemming, who clears first time from Wright's pass back. Here's McKenzie trying to slip it through for Doidge in the left channel. Ollie Shaw gives him a run and goes back the way instead to Chrisen. Forrest trying to stay with him, but forward comes the teenager up to the edge of the penalty. It's Shaw on the edge of the box. Looked to try and link with Doidge, but fortunately for him, although the pass was a poor one, Power was there. Kilmarnock still have it. Power once more tries to feed Chrisen down the left hand side. Grant steps in, battling there with Chrisen. Grant comes out on top, looking for Forrest. Well, it's a bit untidy at the moment, but it's still enthralling as Wright knocks it out of play on the far side. Lewis Nielsen, I think, is going to come on, and presumably he'll have to replace Andy Halliday, who does look like he's run off the worst of the knock he took, but nonetheless was struggling to get back in position. Kilmarnock and Rory McKenzie furious out there because he thought he'd won the ball off Nat Atkinson, but the referee has given the throw in, I think, to Hearts. It's actually a free kick quickly taken by Grant. Hearts in a hurry. Atkinson now fires it out, looking for Mackay on this near side. Armstrong does enough to get there. Armstrong will just have to be careful. With a bit of time wasting there, having already been booked. Mackay eventually takes the throw into Halliday, slips it back to Mackay on the left hand side. 5 minutes left. Hearts trail by 2-1, but they are back in the game, having been 2-0 down. Lyons prepares to come on. There's Alebiosu also about to make his comeback from injury from the bench. Kilmarnock win the ball through. Here's Armstrong coming forward, evading one or two challenges, goes down, does get the pass away to Shaw, and now it's back with Power midway inside the Hearts half. Alston takes over and sweeps it out to the left hand side for Chrisen. The wind playing havoc with the pass, and it allows Hearts to try and get back. Eventually Chrisen goes down, wins the free kick for his side. Some sarcastic applause, I think, from the home fans, and that'll allow these changes to be made. Couple by Kilmarnock and one by Hearts. Rory McKenzie's been given a rest after putting a real shift in. Alebiosu coming in on for him, and then in the middle of the park, Brad Lyons will replace Blair Alston, and for Hearts it will be Halliday who's replaced by Lewis Nielsen. And Cochrane, you would imagine, Craig, will just come out and play left back for the final few minutes.
Yep, I think he will. I think it's going to be difficult for Hearts to get back into this match now.
Yeah, Kilmarnock's taking their time with the substitutions, both players walking off.
Rory McKenzie's put a real power of work in this afternoon, he really has, snapping at the heels of the Hearts midfield every single time they got the ball. Blair Alston as well, had a good match.
Yeah, they have both played well. Lewis Nielsen sent off in midweek, comes on for the closing stages as Kilmarnock throw the free kick in. Gordon's missed it. Who will it fall to? Kilmarnock can't make anything of it initially. Power plays it out to the right hand side. It's Mayo with a chance to cross. He's got Alebiosu, he's come back to his own goal there from Nielsen, and then Craig Gordon is fouled as Kilmarnock tried to bundle in a third goal, and it will be a Hearts free kick, but my goodness, almost a calamity again in the Hearts penalty area. They get off with that one.
Did you see a foul there?
No.
Not for me.
Craig's really unsettled, isn't he? He's uncomfortable with the conditions.
It's been a difficult afternoon for him. We don't often see that, but again, it was a kind of scramble for Hearts, and the referee took the easy option and gave the foul. I don't think I saw a foul.
Here come Hearts down the left-hand side. It's Mackay up against Alebiosu. The substitute has missed 3 through injury, but back off the bench this afternoon, looking to see out the victory for the home side. Atkinson, though, for Hearts, coming in off the right. Crescent tracks him, pokes it out to the near side to Mackay. Couple of minutes to engineer an equaliser plus any added on time. Mackay sweeps it in towards the penalty area, but it's overhit in the end and behind for a goal kick, and that is music to the ears of the home fans, who are desperate to earn the 3 points that would take them 5 clear of Dundee United at the bottom, and 2 clear of Ross County and level with St Johnstone. Would it be a deserved 3 points if they can see it out, Stephen?
I think in the first half it was very even in terms of the chances that were created. In the second half, Kilmarnock definitely started the better side, got their 2 goals. I don't think Hearts have done enough. Since they got their goal back, you're expecting them to really force the issue and create chance after chance. It really hasn't transpired that way, and I think, for me, I don't think that they are wingers or the 2 wider players, Forrest and Mackay, have had a big enough impact in the game in terms of being creative.
There's a clash there, and Humphreys has gone down and stayed down. Alan Power closest to it. Medical team coming on for Hearts, who the Humphreys looking pretty groggy there. Didn't actually see if it was a head knock as such, but the medical team certainly concerned about him. But he's back on his feet, which is good to see, as the 4th official is preparing Nick Walsh to shows exactly how much more time will be played at Rugby Park. The home fans already celebrating, as they believe they've done enough for the victory. But as we saw, certainly I saw at McDermott Park yesterday, it's not over till it's over, as Kingsley plays it short to Cochrane at the back. Now it's Nielsen just on the edge of his own penalty area. He needs to get it forward. 5 minutes to be added on at Rugby Park as Kilmarnock try and break forward. It's going to be a free kick actually to Kilmarnock. Lewis Nielsen catching Christian Dodge there as Kelly tried to make the break, and all these little seconds they can waste with the set pieces are valuable to Kilmarnock. Sure, they didn't want to see as many as 5 minutes being shown, but it has been some game here at Rugby Park, and regardless of the outcome, well worth a watch on Sports Scene this evening.
100%. Last 15 minutes maybe just kind of have been a bit more scrappy and not quite the same quality, but Kilmarnock
have been trying to run the clock down.
Kilmarnock,
yeah.
It does.
Free kick taken into the Hearts penalty area. Craig Gordon goes up unchallenged, and even then he doesn't grab that, and it's really been uncharacteristic of Craig Gordon in these last 20 minutes or so, ever since he made the error for the second Kilmarnock goal. He got away with that when there wasn't any Kilmarnock players around him. Atkinson goes down and earns his side a free kick. 1 minute of injury time played. Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 1, 4 left for Hearts to find an equaliser.
I think Craig's been unsettled. I don't know if the wind's blowing in through the the area just across the other side, and with the ball definitely hang up in the air there, and he came out to catch it, and he was almost like he was concentrating too hard.
I know what you mean,
focusing on it.
Here comes Grant for Hearts into the penalty area. Kingsley flicks it onto the back post. Mackay helps it back into the penalty area. Out comes Zach Hemming. He doesn't gather it first time either, but does fall on the ball before any Hearts players can take advantage.
Do you know what though? Who'd be a goalkeeper in weather like this? I mean, the swirling wind. We're at the back of the stand. We can't see just how bad it is, but you look at the corner flags, they're blistering. You've got wet gloves, it's slippy. Yeah, you can understand why the goalkeepers have struggled a wee bit with their handling.
Hemming launches it long down the right hand side for Kilmarnock. Armstrong tries to free himself of Cochrane. Looked to be a nudge in the back there from Cochrane. That's what the home fans were looking for, but play continues. Cochrane feeds it upfield looking for Humphreys, who's recovered from the knock. Here's Mayo though for Kilmarnock. 3 minutes of injury time remaining. Armstrong flips it forward. Alebiosu coming forward down the right hand side. Kingsley with him. Alebiosu steps away from him initially, and then Kingsley gets the foot in. It comes off Alebiosu last, and it'll be a throw in to Hearts, but deep down near their own corner flag on the left hand side. They desperately need it up the other end, or else it's going to be another defeat. It would be 9-12 for Hearts in all competitions if they can't pull a goal back in the closing stages here. And Robbie Nielsen, who has been facing a bit of negativity from the Hearts fans in recent times, will come under a bit more pressure as a result. Lebiosu takes a throw in for Kilmarnock on the right hand side. Armstrong trying to keep the ball under Nielsen, who has been facing a bit of negativity from the Hearts fans in recent times, will come under a bit more pressure as a result. Lebiosu takes a throw in for Kilmarnock on the right hand side. Armstrong trying to keep the ball under significant pressure. Hearts win it. Shanklin feeds it back to Grant. Kingsley on the edge of his own box plays it to Nielsen. Nielsen tries to spin away from his marker and just about gets away with it, but it is slippery out there. Nielsen again on the edge of his box, back to Craig Gordon. The Kilmarnock fans trying to put the pressure on the Hearts keeper, who clears over the halfway line. Shanklin can't get onto it. It's won by Ash Taylor, picked up by Snodgrass, who switches play out to the right hand side for Atkinson, trying to get away from Chrisen. Chrisen sticks to his task well. He's played well, the young fullback.
He has that.
But across comes Grant to win possession back for Hearts. He was caught late there. It'll be a free kick to Hearts. Kilmarnock fans aren't happy over on the far side, but it looked like a clear free kick. 90 seconds left.
Is Craig Gordon getting up for this? Surely not.
Well, he's thinking about it. Robbie Nielsen saying no,
he's halfway there.
Hold off, just hold off.
What's he doing?
Robbie Nielsen saying 2 minutes left. Well, there's not as much as that. Up it goes to the edge of the penalty area. Taylor wins it. Comes to Atkinson on the volley!
Oh,
what a goal! To seal the point for Hearts, surely. Left-footed from the right back. And Kilmarnock can't believe it, but Hearts have fought back from 2 goals down to surely earn a point at Rugby Park. What a game and what a finish. Nat Atkinson with his first goal of the season, and he couldn't cut it any sweeter. Past Zach Hemming, who was rooted to the spot. Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 2.
This game was always going to do this, wasn't it? What a volley. I mean, it's on his left side. I mean, he can't hit any sweeter than that. Absolutely
it's
wonderful
out of
goal.
nowhere as well. It really is out of nowhere, and I think Derek McInnes will be furious at the free kick that they gave away that led to that goal, giving Hearts the opportunity to put the ball into the box. It was clear that it didn't look like there was going to be too much danger, and then out of nowhere, a spectacular left foot volley. I mean, it just about sums this game up.
It's all over. The home fans boo because they thought they had the game won, but it wasn't to be. Hearts mounting a terrific comeback, you'd have to say. But what a game. Honestly, an unbelievable game here at Rugby Park. 4 goals in the second half. The first half had plenty of opportunities and probably should have had at least 4 goals as well. Both sides passing up big opportunities. But the goals came in the second period. First of all, it was Chris Stokes who popped up for Kilmarnock 2 minutes into the second period, bundling it into the net from a corner to put the home side in front. At that stage, Kilmarnock were really the better side, and it was 2-0 just before the hour mark. Craig Gordon making a real hash of a pass back from Andy Halliday, stumbling over the ball, and Kyle Lafferty stepped in and got himself a goal against his former side to put them 2-0 up. And at that stage it really looked like they were comfortable for the 3 points. Hearts came swiftly back into it though, as Stephen Humphreys grabbed his first goal for Hearts. Getting on the end of a Snodgrass pass through, rounding the keeper and slotting it into the net to make it 2-1. The Hearts onslaught didn't really come. They did have a shot just wide from Lawrence Shanklin, but it wasn't until the 5th minute of injury time. The free kick played into the box, headed clear as far as Nat Atkinson, and on the volley, as sweet as you like, notched just his second goal for the club from 20 yards on the left foot, past a rooted to the spot Zach Hemming, to end a classic game. Kilmarnock 2, Hearts 2.
Kilmarnock versus Hearts.